So here's a quick look at last year. $87,067 earned in 2024, with December nudging 15k. Certainly our biggest month, but it was the first month we had 14 cars on the platform. If we move forward to 2025, not many forward bookings yet, but we're off to a good start. Today's Sunday. We've got 2 Turo drops at the airport. Dropping one off to pick up a customer at 11, and another car is getting dropped off at 12. Sometimes it works out really well like that. Otherwise, I have airport fees and taxi fees, which start racking up the cost pretty high when you have 14 cars. But today we got lucky, so right now we're off to the airport. We're going to just quickly dip through the car wash, give it a quick wash on the way through, because this car's been sitting around for about 3-4 days, so it has to be perfect. So quick run through the car wash, and then we'll meet our guest at the airport, hand the keys, and then wait for the next one to get back. Now, all of my cars are stored at my shop. I don't store them at home. I just find it's nice to have a central base, and then customers can pick them up, drop them off during the day while the shop is trading, so this makes it easier. Plus I've got cameras, security. It all feels very safe here. I don't think I'd like to have 15, 20 odd cars at my house and have people come into my house, so I feel like it's a nice central base. The only thing is I have to drive here to pick up cars on the weekend, which is not a big hassle, but just adds an extra layer. The car we're taking today, the RAV4, it's a little bit dirty. We're going to take it for a quick car wash run. One thing I do on all my cars is I have a fuel guide. So it's unleaded fuel, and if they're not sure, there's another one on the side there as well. Toyota RAV4 hybrid. 50,000 Ks, really nice car, easy to drive. My wife bought a RAV4, I'm going to say about 5 years ago, and she bought it as the family car, and I really hated it. I don't know what it was, but we were doing a fair bit of driving up the North Queensland coast, and the car certainly wasn't big enough for what we were doing. But for this, and since I've bought the hybrid in the RAV4, I absolutely love this car. But I don't think it'd be good for long drives with a car full of kids and bikes and bags. But for what we use it for, it's a great car, very fuel efficient being the hybrid. Plenty of space, I think, in the boot for a bag or two, but it's becoming one of our highest rented cars at the moment. Now, I did buy these for all my cars as well. The multi-fit, so it's a USB with Samsung iPhone chargers in it. They have been great. They're only $7, so cheap, because what I found, a lot of people stealing my cords. I think not by purpose, probably by accident, they just grab it from a habit. But these charge phones only, they don't connect with the USB, so I think I'm going to go to Kmart and grab a stack of $5 cords, just iPhone cords, and have one of each in the car. I've already lost a few because people have taken them or stolen them, but who knows. So such a quiet drive, the RAV4. But smooth, fuel efficient. Anything, I'm not sure if you can hear it. You can hear a bit of a, it has a bit of a whirring noise in the rear. Now I'm not sure, because the hybrids are very quiet when they're running on EV mode. If you don't have quiet, soft compound tires, you'll hear that straight through the car. I think that's the case when I bought this car. The rear tires are a little bit worn. They've been rotated front to rear, but the brand and quality of the tire is causing it to be a bit noisy, and you can just hear that whoa, 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 which will be a bit annoying. Now obviously we're in a tyre shop, so we'll get them changed out into a hand-cooked product and get a nice quiet EV tyre, so it makes the driving experience a lot more enjoyable. I do wonder what the Queensland law is around holding a camera while you're driving. Probably not. They're probably frowned upon, I'm going to say, because holding a mobile device certainly costs you a $1,000 fine and a few points, but holding a camera, I'm not so sure. Probably the same. Now, I very, very rarely go through a car wash because we have an employee that washes all the cars, and generally on the weekend I've got time. I can quickly wash one if it comes back late, but I'm struggling for time today, and getting a bit old. My back's a bit sore today, so I'm just going to do a quick zing through the car wash. This car's already been cleaned inside and out, but it has been sitting around for a few days, so just a quick $10 car wash, just to make it look really, really sharp, because you know, 5-star reviews at everything. And even though I wouldn't risk getting a 5-star, I just don't want to have that 1% chance of a customer not being super impressed by the car, not being immaculate. So generally I wouldn't use a car wash, because again, it's another $10. And if you're doing 4 or 5 trips a day, that adds up pretty quick once you add airport fees and parking in there as well. So generally I don't do it because I'm already paying someone to do that, but this is a bit of a one-off, this one. Sure, it was only $10, but that was $19 for a quick wash, so this probably would be the last time I do it. I could have just hit it with the hose, quick wash, 15 minutes myself, and saved $20. But that's a good lesson. I should have been a bit more organized today. Oh well. Didn't even include the dry, it was just a wash and rinse with water. So now I'm going to have to go for a bit of a drive and dry it off a little bit. And while we do that, I might go check out a place I've been eyeing off that's close to the airport as a place to store my cars, because now we've got 14 cars. It's becoming a bit too much for my main business location, and I would like to get its own location. So we'll go check out this place. Let me know what you think as a place to rent. I'm sort of umming and ahhing because you can get cheaper places for, you know, 30 grand a year, but it's a long way from the airport, and I think you're better off paying a premium to be closer to the airport for convenience of customers. If you want to grow this business long term and do it seriously, you don't want to be stuck with a 2-year lease and then, you know, find out you're doing really well and the business grows rapidly and you're stuck out there. So I think I'm going to bite the bullet, get as close as I can to the airport, pay a little bit of a premium, and just be purely focused on growing the fleet and forcing me to make it successful. We're already profitable, so we're doing well, but we need to get it to a point to go that next level, and getting a location will do that. A place that's professional with all signage, and a place where customers can drop off, pick up, and a place for my employee to wash the cars and store the cars, and also to film content as well would be handy, because my main workshop, Tire and Auto, gets a bit dusty sometimes. So it'd be nice to get a nice place to store the cars and run the business from, and start to treat it as its own entity, its own business, which we are almost there. So let's go check out this place. I don't know if it's going to be available for lease, but I've seen it being built, and I'm crossing my fingers that it comes available. We'll go check it out and let me know what you think. There is one competitor there, which is SIXT, Sixt. And they're close to the airport, but not ideal. Avis, Budget, and Hertz and Europcar are at the airport, so we need to get as close as we can to be a competitor to that. So this is the airport there. They are doing a big development on the airport strip as well, which I would like to lease a place there, but ideally I'd like to buy somewhere, to be honest. But this is it here. So that's the airport right there. There's a little location here, which I don't know is going to be available. But there's Fleet Crew. They got a pretty big operation. This is the spot right here. For me, perfect location. Big roller door entry, gated off. Is it available? I don't know. Is it going to be available? I have no idea. But that is the location. I could only hope that it becomes available, because that is the airport right there. That would be perfect. Close to the airport, easy to get to. I could almost stop doing airport pickup drop-offs, because they could just get a quick lift to the location here, because airport fees chew up quite a bit of my profitability. Sometimes I get lucky and can park a car, drop it off, pick up another customer. But when you're doing, I've had days where I'm doing 8-9 trips to the airport, and trying to coordinate that with parking, because parking's free for 15 minutes only. So I try and time it. Sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes parking can be $20, $30 per trip. So it does get exy, and I think I can convert that expenditure at the airport into a location, and be a very similar cost. Plus, it allows me to grow my fleet even bigger, and I just think it gives me a real heads up competition to try and take on the big boys. Again, they've got 400 cars each, so I'm not even a drop in the ocean. But at 14, having a location like this allows me to grow and get really big very quickly, which is the aim of the game. I'm in this for the long haul. I want to do it properly. So yes, we could sit at 14 cars and be happy, but let's see how far we can push this thing and give it a real dig, and see if we can get to 50, or even get into some supercars at some stage. Who knows? But you don't know unless you try, and we can certainly try that. Now, they'll probably want a 3, 4, 5 year lease on this thing, which I'm comfortable with, because one, I want to get more serious about YouTube and doing a lot more videos, and it gives me a place to do that. And two, I have the main business, which can, worst case scenario, I'm stuck in this lease and I've got to find, 5, 6K a month. I can certainly find that from my other business to navigate some of these losses. So it's not the end of the world, or I could sort of sublease to some of my friends as well in the trade industry. So I could certainly find a way to make it work. But most people may be scared of doing that. So, but certainly I'm not. So the 2 trips today, this is one, I'm not sure if you can see it properly. It's a 3-day trip, $89 per day for the RAV4. It's 900Ks included, $267 trip. 3-day discount brings it to $240. Turo fees and tax brings it to $213 for this trip today. And the car that I'm picking up is a 5-day trip at $75 per day. Had a last minute price boosting of $37, a 3-day discount of $41. So $371 minus fees, looking at $330 for this trip. So this is the airports. This is Hertz, Avis, Budget, stacks of cars. And then you've got, actually that was Avis and Budget. This is Hertz. Facility at the airport. Airport's right here. And then Europe car next to that. And this is all, the cars all stacked up. So this is the competition. So when it comes to organizing your business, you have to realize you have to go above and beyond if you're going to have a small slice of taking on these big businesses, Avis, Budget, Hertz. Literally hundreds and hundreds of cars parked up. And that's always the worry about going into debt to accumulate, 20, 30, 40, 50 cars, is your competition is way bigger than you. So it is super important that you are going above and beyond for your customers to give yourself the best chance of winning some market share, because it's the only way you're going to do it. Otherwise, why would anyone choose you on the Turo platform when they could just go Avis and Budget? Sure, it's cheaper, but it has to be more convenient as well, with a better car, cleaner car, better service, and 5-star ratings is your only option. Otherwise, you're going to have no chance. This is the only option I have, is to get into the airport and get myself a ticket. And then that's free 15 minutes. So it's free for 15 minutes, or if it goes over that, which it generally does, it becomes $7, $10, $15, and then $30 for a whole day. So normally the planes are late, and it's a 30-minute delay. So it just depends on what's happening with the flight that day and when this customer gets in. But the other customer now, this one's due to pick up at 11, or due to land at 11. So that would give a 11:15, 11:20 by the time they get to the car. The next person, who was due at 1, it was due at 12, so he's actually going to be late. They're going to be 12:31 now, so that just adds a bit more time to my day. Not the end of the world, but it does happen. These are things you have to deal with when you're trying to outwork your competitor. Otherwise, why would anyone choose me? Why would anyone choose my business? Now, it may be different. You might want to have 1 or 2 cars listed on Turo, and that's fine to pick up an extra bit of income without adding too much stress to your day-to-day. But if you're trying to build a business, a long-term, profitable, sustainable business, which I am, then this is what you have to do. Outwork everyone. There's no other option. If you do have another way you think you could do it, please let me know. I'm all ears. I'm happy to take on board any feedback to make the running of this business a lot easier. I would certainly appreciate that, that's for sure. Alright, so that's one handover done. So now we're just going to wait sort of an hour before the next car comes. Interestingly enough, every time I go to that parking zone, I park in an area where there's no cars go through. Sure, it's not a car park. I should probably park in an actual park. But I park in a very convenient spot that no car, like it affects nobody. I've been parking there for 2 years. The last 3-4 times the parking inspector has told me you can't park there, shuffle on. I feel like they're getting a bit annoyed with me. So I'll just go back to parking in a car park. Alright, just picked up the last car. So they were due back at 12. It is 12:30, so a half-hour delay. Not the end of the world. But does make your day a bit longer. If you had one car, 2 cars wouldn't be an issue. But when you got 14 and you want to try and get to like a larger fleet, you don't really have much time to spend sitting around. Time will be the essence. So something to be aware of as you manage your Turo fleet is that people will not respect your time. They will be late, they'll be early, they'll expect to pick it up early. I also had a recent one. Someone wanted to pick it up early. I did the right thing, they picked it up early. And then they got a speeding ticket outside of their trip booking, which is my responsibility. So there is that as well. So we'll just quickly go back, check out this car, and then we'll wrap up our day. So this is it, the Mitsubishi ASX. It's come back actually really, really tidy. No bugs. It looks like it's being cleaned. A few little nicks and dings along the way. Looks like a few car door dings. You can see it there. But inside, very, very tidy. This is when I bought new floor mats for. You can see those big rubber floor mats. And it's going to save us a lot of time. We can just pull them out, give them a wipe, and done. Quick vacuum. And this car is back on the road. So overall, a very good trip with this one. Clean, tidy, hassle-free,